felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one problem.
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Flacco off play action. He'll rifle this one deep right side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the great one, Darrelle Revis. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And Charles, there is a reason that they say Revis Island is in the vicinity of this guy. That's why.
It's obviously where receivers run routes, but none of them very successfully. And right now, there's another head coach asking his offensive coordinator, when are we going to learn? Don't throw it to that guy.
Drops it underneath to Forte. And this time, not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Fitzpatrick now on second down. Wilson snags it left side. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll come out in the pistol. First down, Fitzpatrick. He's got time. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Fitzpatrick to throw it. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll throw again, Fitzpatrick. And this is complete. It's Marshall. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. To the air again, Fitzpatrick.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Again, it's Fitzpatrick. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Fitzpatrick again. Fighting him off.
Just ran right.
Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie Tavon Young. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Thanks, Brandon. I'm Larry Ridley, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. The Jets haven't been able to find the same rhythm they had a week ago. The Ravens are doing a good job keeping them off balance, and that's led to a lead for them at the half. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 2nd and 8. Wallace will get it on the screen, and he capped off the 9-play drive with a TD. That puts them up by a touchdown. Now 1st and 10. Akins found on the quick pass and catch, and a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. Ravens up now by 14. Jets take over late in the 2nd. Under pressure here, the pass is picked off. Webb's reading the play and comes away with it, ending the drive. After the pitch, offense comes out now. Fitzpatrick's under pressure and throws the pick. Young seems happy to come away with the pick, ending the drive. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to East Rutherford for the start of the second half.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Now Spiller, the return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They stay on the ground. Forte again. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. And he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Lardarius Webb in on the stop.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On second down, Forte. And not much running room. Down to the 32. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. And he has not been able to find the same type of running room this week as last. Such a great game. We met with him. He came in, had the biggest smile on his face, so we just thought that would carry over.
Sometimes you wonder if maybe it borders on a little overconfidence. They were so good last week. He's getting extra blocking out in the perimeter from the wide receivers to get him downfield. In this game, maybe he came into it with the idea that it's just going to be like last week, be a piece of cake. And what they're getting from the defense isn't exactly the same. And, boy, it's been tough going for him.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the front.
Take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. The drive begins with a run by Dixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And a quick throw here. That's complete. Give him 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. He's still in search of the 1st down after that last completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make...
It's a foot race. Kenneth Dixon past the 20. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here, you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
Now West looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Second down, Flacco now. That is caught at the 7. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
Well, there really wasn't much there, but a completion is a completion. A tough 3rd down awaits them.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Flacco. And that is incomplete. Kamar Aiken, the intended receiver. Now 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the 3rd quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here's Matt Forte as he gets set to go and heads back out there. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
They come up in an offset eye. Following the penalty, it's Forte. And he'll get this across midfield to the 48. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Fitzpatrick now going to give to Forte. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I thought guys that were over 30 weren't supposed to run the football this well in the National Football League. How about that veteran leadership? A big-time run combined with some nice blocking by his offensive line, showing that the ins and outs of being a veteran still has his place in this league. His odometer is not totally turned over yet.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Finding time. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. Fitzpatrick from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And it is good. Oh, that one looked to be in trouble the whole way, but it does get over the bar. And a second field goal here gets them back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Flacco to throw here on 3rd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely...
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Kenrick Allen, loss of 2. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't. And a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after some...
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Mike Wallace, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.